This video is to help you if you're studying for the Edexcel A specification A-level exam this summer, or if you're a teacher who has students doing the exam. We'll think about the topics that might be due for testing. Now, this might be because they've not been asked about since the specification was first examined in 2017, or because they've been topical in the news. Before we get started, there's just one thing I need to say. This video will help you, but you should never rely on question spotting as the basis for exam success. Please study thoroughly and widely across the entire specification. So turning to paper 1 micro, we look at topics that might come up in the longer questions. Now there are quite a few major topics here, but haven't yet been examined. For example, there have been no long questions about perfect or monopolistic competition, with questions tending to focus on the more concentrated end of the market spectrum. So I could easily see the potential for questions looking at less concentrated markets. Although there have been plenty of questions that would have allowed students to use the concept of government failure, there hasn't been a longer question yet directly about the concept, so there seems to be a possibility here. A question about consumer and producer surplus seems possible too, perhaps something about how they change when an indirect tax is placed on a product, for example. Negative externalities in consumption looks topical with regard to smoking, vaping, and alcohol, and both minimum and maximum prices look a good bet too. Finally, the water industry has been very much in the news for various reasons, including the dumping of raw sewage into rivers by water companies and controversy over the right level for Ofwat to set the price cap. There are so many different parts of the specification that could be examined using water as a context, so I would not be at all surprised to see water used either on paper 1 or paper 3. Moving on to macro, I think my top tip here is inflation and policy to control it, for example through interest rate. This area has been very little tested in recent years, but has also been highly topical since UK inflation got out of control in 2022, with the result that the Bank of England raised interest rates at no fewer than 14 successive meetings. Areas that stand out as not having been directly tested before include comparative advantage theory, as well as evaluating the Human Development Index as a measure of development. The causes of the business cycle and the related topics of investment and the multiplier have not yet been tested, and they could easily come together in a data question. Economics Factory can help you prepare for the topics we've discussed. Each year, we publish 2 new micro and 2 new macro papers in the Edexcel style on the topics that we think are most likely to be tested. The 2025 papers are available now. You can just scan the QR code to head to our website and you can buy them there. Forecasting topics isn't an exact science, of course, and in 2024 we were very close with the macro questions and not so much with the micro. In macro, we successfully predicted a question about the budget deficit and national debt, and our question about policies to correct a balance of payments deficit was almost word for word, the same as the one on the actual paper. Our take on this is that the topics that we predicted for micro last year are even more likely to come up in 2025. We can also help with tutoring. A bit of support with exam technique and clear coverage of some of the most difficult topics, especially those which seem most likely to be tested in the summer, can be invaluable. Now I'm making a few slots available for individual and small group tuition, and you can find out more by scanning the QR code on the screen now. It's not where the help ends by any stretch of imagination. We're here with you all the way to the exam, and we've got a wealth of other resources to help you, including model answers to every single current specification past paper question. Head over to www.economicsfactory.com to see all we've got to offer. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I wish you all the very best for your exams. And please keep in touch. Give our YouTube channel a follow Tell your friends about our resources and subscribe to our mailing list by dropping your email address into the box at the foot of our homepage.